Good Sunday morning, FlossTube. My name is Shelly, and this is my channel, Proverbs 31:22. This is March the 7th, 2021, and this is FlossTube number 36. And I'm going to try really, really hard to not say so many times. I don't know if it's something that I've done the whole time I've been doing FlossTube. I didn't think that I did it a lot. And then a few videos ago, I think it was maybe the first one that I filmed when my husband was home. So I don't know if I was sort of self-conscious. I don't know. But I noticed that I say it a lot. And it's continued in the videos since then. And it's one of my, not pet peeves, but it's just like, stop it. I need like a swear jar, but an jar. Maybe that would help. I don't know. Let's see how I do making it through this video. So if you are new here, this is my channel where I share about my cross stitch mostly and some quilting. And I wanted to say something else and it just left me. Oh well, it'll probably come back. So the quilt on the wall behind me is a stack and whack that I took a class from a local quilter in 2005. So it was started in 2005 and I just looked it up on the label. I finished it in 2017. So I think it took me a while to finish it because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do more quilting on it. Like I kind of hand quilted it, traditional hand quilting. And I think this is one of the last quilts that I did traditional hand quilting before I moved to strictly big stitch quilting. I think that's why, I completely quilted it pretty soon after I pieced it. But then I thought that it needed more quilting. So I think I went back and added the quilting above the fans. And so that took a while. But I finally got it done in 2017. It is made, the blue fabric in it is that bluebird fabric that I've shown on previous videos. I used it to make a project bag with. So that is what's on the wall behind me. I thought we needed a different backdrop besides the quilter's planner quilt that I've been working on. I'm still working on that, still piecing the top. And I did start, when I'm piecing, I usually use a leader and an ender to feed into the machine before and after I put my pieces in. And I know Bonnie Hunter does this. Instead of just using a scrap, she'll use something that she's actually piecing for another quilt. And it can get a little confusing a little bit, I think. But I did try that at the end of last week when I was working on it. So this is a quilt pattern that came in a Sew Sampler box back when I was subscribing to that from Fat Quarter Shop. It's been cut out and in a little organizer for at least a year, probably more, year and a half or so. And while I was doing the quilter's planner quilt, piecing it, I started working on piecing the blocks. So sorry, I bumped you. I'm using the pinks that are shown in the quilt, but my background is gray. And I've only got a few little block ones made. So I don't have anything put together or anything yet. So that's what I've been working on quilting wise. I have been working on hand quilting my younger daughter's quilt. And that's my quilting. Speaking of my younger daughter, a few weeks ago I had said that we were babysitting for our granddoggy, and I couldn't say anything at that point because she hadn't made it public yet, but I can now say that she got engaged on that trip. So she asked her girlfriend, Emily, and Emily said yes. So they are planning to probably spring of next year. And speaking of Emily, we got a text from Lakin yesterday letting us know that Emily had had an accident. She slipped on some wet leaves and grass in her yard and snapped her bottom leg bone, I think the tibia. So she was waiting to undergo emergency surgery to put a plate in, and they did do that yesterday. She's supposed to come home today. I haven't heard anything this morning, but just remember her in prayer because, God, I can't imagine the pain of that happening. And then she's a single mom, so she has the cutest little red-haired little boy. His name is Michael also, which is my husband's name, but everybody calls him Mikey. And he is like this humongous, not humongous, he's tiny, but he's this big ball of energy, just nonstop Energizer Bunny all the time. So that's a little bit of what's been going on here. So we do appreciate the prayers for Emily. And we also got word yesterday that one of my husband's uncles passed away. He had gotten sick with congestive heart failure and been in the hospital, and they knew it was coming, but he did pass peacefully yesterday. So remember the Michelle family in prayer. So what I've been up to, I did do a few job interviews this week. I think I had told y'all about one of them on last video, which was for a scheduler position at the local hospital. I did that video interview on Tuesday. I haven't heard anything back on that one. Then on Wednesday, I did a in-life, face-to-face interview at a multi-physician practice for a medical records clerk. So I did hear back on that one, and she decided to go with someone else on that job, someone that had experience with their software that they use, which I didn't. So after I did that interview, honestly, I'm not excited about either one of those positions. I'm not excited about having to go back into the medical field at all. And that got me thinking, about the job that I had, that I got laid off from, which was as a seamstress for a local manufacturing company. When I had that job, I was excited to get up and go to work in the morning. And so neither one of these interviews that I went on, I got home from that one on Wednesday and I told my husband, it's like I feel like I'm just getting my feet under me and having the energy to even care about my home. I've been working on organizing and, purging and, things that have piled up for at least 2 years. I don't balance working full-time and taking care of my home really well, especially working in the medical field because it's just so stressful. It's very stressful. So, working in that field, you're stressed out all day long. When you come home, I want to do what de-stresses me, which is stitch. So something's got to give, and it's been the house. So I really, like the medical clerk position was 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, with an hour for lunch. I didn't ask. Maybe she would have been willing to, let me leave at 4:30 if I did a half-hour lunch. I just don't want to be going from home that long. Plus, a 40-minute drive to town. That one would probably been about 30 minutes, but one way, 30 minutes. So I really want to be able to do something creative or work in a creative place. So, you know, we have some money that we can live on. So for right now, just, you know, I'll still do interviews, still put out resumes and stuff, but until the right thing comes along, I think I'm not going to just jump at whatever job, if that makes sense. So that's what's been going on with us. We did have our younger grandson came over and spent the night last Sunday night. We played video games together and stayed up watching stuff. I think I came in here and stitched at some point and watched TV while he was watching something with my husband. And then when we went to bed, we just stayed up talking about basketball stats. And he knows so much, and it just amazes me. He's 8 years old, and he knows so much, like so much about all the players, both present and past. And, you know, we were just talking about all the players that I remember and players from today. And we looked up who's playing an NBA All-Star game, which is today. So they're coming over for that, him and Nathan. I just had the best time with him. He also, you know, he's got that side to him that's, you know, he's like all intense and, you know, trash talking little basketball player type. And then he's got this other side that, you know, was going through my Instagram feed and passed by someone's post with their winter rose manor in that frame that everybody's using to frame it in, you know, that Lori Holt framed it in. And he said, he saw it and he said, "Oh my God." He's like, "That is just such a work of art." I was like, "Isn't it?" I said, "And look, everybody's framing it in this frame." I was like, he's like, "That's the perfect frame for that." I mean, you know, he just has this perfect little personality. I love him to death. And I'm excited that they're coming over tonight and we're watching the NBA All-Star event together. So I think that's all that's been going on. So we're 13 minutes in and I haven't shown you the first, well, you've seen the stitching on the wall behind me, but you're here to hear what I've been stitching, right? First, I have a previous finish. So I worked on organizing in our master today, which this is the master of the house, but the bedroom. And, you know, it needed to be reorganized so bad. We moved some furniture around between it and the foyer of our home, and just to get some more better function. And, you know, like I said, I went through stuff and cleaned out, and I still have stuff that I need to file and put away. It's still a work in progress, but it looks so nice. And I may, you know, once it's all finished, I'll probably take some pictures or do a little video. But anyway, I found this piece that I had stitched for my mom, and when she passed, of course, I took it from her stuff, but I wish that I had stitched the year on it. So I think that's telling me that I need to put my initials, at least in the year, on everything I stitch, just a little back stitch. But I made this for her, and you know, she's been gone 25 years now, so I don't know at what point I stitched it for her, but it's at least that old. And I just put it in this frame for her. And it's not centered or anything, but I love it. It's precious to me, so it stays in my room, but I wanted to show you guys that. So, I'll go with the again. I'm doing March Mayhem, and I'm concentrating on finishes, on pieces that are close to finishes. So these are not fully finished, but I do have 3 finishes that I got done this week, so I'm excited. So this is the piece that I stitched at the end of 2020, It was supposed to be a gift for someone, and then I got COVID, so I didn't work on it anymore. And it did say 2020 up here, and then the ho-ho was down here. So since I'm not gifting it until this year, I decided to frog it and change it up. So I did the ho-ho, like it had 2020, and then it had ho-ho, and then ho over here. The name of the chart is Ho Ho Home, and the person that I'm gifting this to lives in a camper currently. So I really wanted it to say Ho Ho Home anyway, so I'm glad that it worked out the way it did. But anyway, I did frog that and add the letters to it. And this is on 28 count antique white Monaco. And let's see, I used mostly DMC, some classic colorworks, and one Victorian motto. So that one's one finish done for March Mayhem. Yay! And I did finish my Stronger Together, which I only had the E and the R to finish, the G, the E, and the R to do last week. So this is my finish. I don't know how I'm going to finish this. I went to Hobby Lobby yesterday and sort of looked around, and I just don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I saw someone on Instagram had stitched this part and then stitched the words, and I think she had the quilt block in the middle, and she turned it into a pillow. Like one side was this and then the other side was this, and it was real cute. But I think I want to do something that hangs on the wall with this. So I did stitch these with the call for DMC flosses on 28 count even weave from Hobby Lobby that I hand dyed using evening blue and pearl gray, and I think I have fuchsia is the other color that I have. So I just did an all over dye with the blue, and then I spooned on, I don't remember if I did one or the other first or not, or which one I did, but I spooned on the pink and the gray. So that was, this wasn't part of March Mayhem, but that was a finish that I had. This was part of my Mayhem. And this is a finish. So I really had 4 finishes this week. 3 from Mayhem and 1 from my Sal. So this is, sorry guys, I hate that I keep saying, this is from Jan Hicks Creates. And this is her, she's working on a series, seasonal pieces that she designs specifically for Cosmo thread. So I did use the call for Cosmo. I do have mistakes right in here, but you can't tell. I love the way it looks. It came out so cute. I did look for something to finish this on as well yesterday at Hobby Lobby. I found a few things that maybe, but you know, Hobby Lobby's stopped their 40% off coupon. And so, yeah. I'm only going to buy stuff when it's on sale, because their stuff is, when it's not on sale, it's kind of pricey. But this is stitched on, I think it's 25 count Cloud from Lori Holt. 2 strands over 2 threads. Everything I've shown so far is 2 strands over 2 threads. And then this is my 3rd finish. I had everything planned out on my calendar, and it actually went faster than I thought it would. So I'm ahead of my plan. So at the beginning of the month, I thought I would have 6 finishes. I may end up having more. So this is the chock full Mary jar, which is a design by Hands On Design, where she took Priscilla Blaine's chalk art and converted it to a chart. And this is a whole series of charts that I was in the club with Fat Quarter Shop. So it's 14 count chalkboard black Ada using the called for flosses, which are Classic Colorworks, and then gassed chalk for the white. And this one has mistakes in it too. What I really like about these is the mistakes. You can fudge it. I love that. I do have a piece. I'm pretty sure I have a piece that I bought last year that I want to finish that on. Now, whether or not I'll finish it before the holidays are approaching, I don't know. I kind of have to be in the mood to finish stuff. I thought about making like a Finish Friday day or something, but I don't know if that would work. So that's my previous and current finishes. So what else did I work on? I worked on my magazine monthly challenge pieces. And I have them, all the current ones, in this bag all together. I have too many whips and not enough project bags. So let me pull up a picture. The first one I worked on was the Nativity Silhouette. Sorry, I keep bumping you. Which is from Just CrossStitch, December of 2020. And this is what I got done. So I had all of this side done, and then I started coming over on this side and stitching. Didn't get a whole lot of stitches in, but some is better than none. And this is on 14 count chalkboard black Ada using DMC flosses, some the call for, some substitutions. And it's two threads over one, 2 strands over 1 thread. And these are the flosses that I've picked out so far. This will be a several year project, I'm sure. It's sort of hard to, it's a little hard to follow because all the colors are close together, like look the same, and you might have like one little one. It's just really hard to follow. Maybe if it was on Pattern Keeper, it would be easier. So that is that. And then I also worked on Let It Snow. Cute little snowman. From Just CrossStitch, also December of 2020. I feel like I'm repeating myself when I make these. I mean, I know some people haven't watched before, but all you guys that are coming back, you've heard my story on these too many times. So I'm stitching these ornaments, some ornaments for my grandsons. And this will be my younger grandsons. It's stitched on 14 count opalescent Ada that I got from Hobby Lobby using DMC flosses. These are the flosses. So I worked on his hat. I didn't do a whole lot of, like you can see, like I didn't make a lot of progress on some of the things that I worked on. I think mainly because I was trying to make sure I stayed caught up on prim and proper. And then I had I had the interviews 2 days. Malachi came Sunday, so I didn't do a whole lot of stitching. Saturday, I didn't bring stitching to his game. And I also my massage therapist had to reschedule from Thursday, so I went yesterday and got my massage. So I didn't get a whole lot of stitching, and I did, a little bit more quilting and such. So I also started the little April calendar. Let's see. So these are designed by Cheryl McKinnon, who is Tiny Modernist, and they are from CrossStitcher December 2020 magazine. These are the flosses that I pulled, and I just got a very small start on the house. And I'm stitching these on 14 count Ada in the color French lace. So I'm basically going to stitch on that every Tuesday this month to get it ready for next month. And I also stitched on this Biscornu piece from, I'll tell you the magazine in a second. So I'm not going to turn this into a Biscornu. When I was stitching it the other day, it came to me that I'm going to turn it into a bag. I will frame it with some fabric and then turn it into just like a little small bag. Maybe like a little bag to keep my supplies in. I have a bag that I keep all of my needles and needle threader and things like that in. So the All Sewn Up is a 3-part piece. It's the Biscornu, the needle book, which I finished a few weeks ago and showed, and then a small little pin cushion. They are from CrossStitcher Magazine, February 2021. And I'm stitching it on 14 count oatmeal Ada, using DMC. Some called for, some not. These are some of them. Some of them are in other projects. And let's see. I also worked on Home to Roost. And that's from CrossStitch Crazy magazine, July of 2020. Let me pull up a picture. This is a picture of what the finished piece will look like. And this is my progress. So when you saw it last, I had just this part right here not filled in. So I went ahead and filled that in. And so I met one of my goals to do the peak of the house. This is stitched on 36 count Zweigart in the color Platinum using DMC flosses. I love this piece so much. I said a while back that I didn't know what my style was anymore. Stitching on this and then cleaning out my room the other day, I found a bunch of Victoria and Romantic Home magazines, and that's really still my style. I really love it. I tried to get away from it a while back, but like when I think about how I want to accessorize my house, that's what I think about. So I think the romantic shabby chic type style is still my style, which is good to know because it kind of narrows things down. Okay, so I also stitched on 2 of the band samplers that I started in the past from the magazine monthly challenges before. And let's see. See if I can find a picture. So this is the fall one. These are also designed by Cheryl McKinnon. And I was able to finish this first little scene. I don't have enough contrast in my grains up here, so I did change it when I got down here. I'm not going to go back and frog any of this. It's fine. This is stitched on a 18 count Ada. I don't know if it's Rustico or Oatmeal. I picked it up from Joanne, I believe. And I'm using just DMC flosses. So I worked on that one. And then I also worked on the winter one. Probably be easier if I printed these out, but I don't like wasting paper and ink if I don't have to. And this is the winter one. When I was stitching this last night, I realized that I had stitched the wrong color on part of it, so I did have to frog some out from what I showed you last time. So this part of the pond right here, down into here, I stitched in the darker blue. And it was supposed to be this real light pale blue. So I had to frog that and finish. I added some of that back in, and then I had started with the lighter blue up here. And this is on an 18 count Vintage Country Mocha Ada that I got from 123 Stitch. I'm sorry I haven't been saying, but this one I am stitching the white 2 strands over 1 thread, and the other color is 1 strand. And I'm stitching 1 over 1 on the fall one. So that's my monthly magazine challenge pieces. Or magazine monthly, I never can remember. Magazine monthly. So my weekly focus piece this week was my little sheep virtues. And I might have to go in timeout for a little while. So I'm working on this one right now. These are from Little House Needleworks. There are 12 in the series. And I'm stitching them all on one piece of fabric, which is a 28 count Venetian stone linen from Witchout. So I was plugging away on this and making all kind of progress. I added the little blue down at the bottom, worked some more on the border, and then I realized that the border was not going to match up. I cannot see where I went wrong at all. So I started frogging, which is disappointing. But that's the way it goes. So I'm stitching with 2 strands of DMC floss over 2 threads. And I am stitching these all on one piece. And no one said anything, but for some reason I feel like I need to acknowledge it. My stitching is not the neatest or the prettiest. I wish it could be, but in the grand scheme of things, when you stand back and look at it, you can't see the flaws, so I don't keep trying to perfect it, but it is what it is at this point. Sometimes I feel self-conscious when I post pictures or anything because they're not perfect. So the sowels I worked on this week, Prim and Proper. This is by Fat Quarter Shop. Well, the pattern's Lori Holt, but Fat Quarter Shop published the pattern and is hosting the stitch along. So this was a lot of my stitching this week because, like I said, I want to try to keep this up to date, on track. I decided to do this on black. This is not a true black. It's a 14 count chalkboard Ada. I'm so glad I did it on the black. I love it. I had to change some colors, but I changed them to pink and purple, so it's a win in my book. Love it, love it, love it. So this week we're supposed to finish, before the 10th, we're supposed to finish this whole side piece. So I'm on track. You know, I did like 3 of these and then this border and then 3 of these the next day. And so I'll do the next 3 in the border today. And then over the next 2 or 3 days, I'll do the block like this that's down in this corner. Because I don't want this to languish, or I want to keep up. I want to get a finish by the end of the month. So that is Prim and Proper. And these are my flosses. I substituted colors and Victorian motto, some flosses from her, and then some DMC, and then 1 Classic Colorworks, the white, which is a mess. It's a ratty mess, but my pile's about to fall. And let's see. The other sow that I worked on was the Sense and Sensibility for Stitching Book Club. I don't remember. I didn't have this finished. So part 2 did come out yesterday. And I did start working on it. But last video I had to fill in this middle part of this flower to be finished with part 1. And so part 2 is starting right here, and it goes up around to this side. So pretty. I love this design so much. So this is a 28 count even weave from Hobby Lobby that I hand dyed, just flat all over dye with evening blue. I'm stitching 2 strands of DMC call for colors over 2 threads. And this one's easy to keep up on because we have quite a few weeks to finish each part. That's what I stitched on this week. Didn't make a whole lot of progress on some of it, but I had 4 finishes. Yay! Now just to FFO them. I don't know if y'all struggle like I do, but when I walk around Hobby Lobby or any place, it's very rare that, sorry, my dog is barking, but it's very rare that I know immediately what I want to use to finish a piece. So, what's he barking at? Usually when he goes crazy like that, it's because someone's here, so I don't know if the boys are coming over already or not. Okay, so that's what I stitched. Let me show you haul next. So last week I forgot to show this. I went to Sam's a few weeks ago, and I'd been looking at these. I've been looking at them at Joann, and they were a little pricey. So I saw this at Sam's. It's not exactly like the one at Joann, but I think it's sufficient for my needs. And it was, you know, like less than 30 bucks. So I snatched it up. So now I can get really organized with all of my stuff and label it properly, not with my scotch tape and Sharpies, which is my current system. Okay. One of the groups I was in this week, had a post from, I don't remember what her name is, but the girl with Satsuma Street. And she said that she was having a sale, and I think the sale was on this one. And the sale's over now, but when I saw this picture does not do them justice at all. They are gorgeous. Love the finish, love the colors, love everything about it. And it's birds. So while I was in her shop, this is one that I've had my eye on forever from her. I love her bright colors and stuff, so I picked this one up too. Both PDF patterns, which I love. I finally got my love notes in from the Silver Needle, which is Brenda Gervais' pattern. They must be here. My husband's talking to someone. So that one came in and then I also ordered from this shop right here online. And I wasn't sure how soon the Love Notes was going to come in from the Silver Needle, and they had it in stock. Someone had an order from them as well, so that will be a future giveaway, the extra pattern. So I didn't get all of my order from them, but some of the flosses were back ordered. I did get the Love Notes, and then this is the fabric that I'm going to stitch them on. And then I ordered the Pink Sparrow Sampler, which I saw on Melly Ellie Stitches. Love it. And then these are some of the flosses. Like I said, some of them were back ordered. So this was the first time I'd ordered from this shop. they had pretty good customer service. They were closed for the weather and, they communicated with me and stuff, but I found this really strange. So when the flosses came in, they were folded in the tag and the tag was stapled. I have no idea what was the point of that. So I had to open each one by ripping it apart. It had the little sticker on it and a staple. And it just seems like, why would you waste time doing that with them? And then I have to waste time undoing them. That kind of stuff makes me crazy. But anyway, I have the flosses, and hopefully the other ones won't be too long coming in. Not that I'm going to get to stitching that anytime soon, but... So also, like I said, I went to Hobby Lobby yesterday and looked around. And they had everything in their spring shop was 40% off. I went to buy the frame for Winter Rose Manor because I figure that's what I'm going to want to put it in. So why not just go ahead and pick it up now, even though it's not anywhere near being finished. But they weren't on sale, and they don't have the 40% off coupons anymore. So the girl said they usually go on sale every other week or so. So I'll just keep looking back until it goes on sale and I'll pick it up. But all of their stuff from the spring shop was 40% off, and the Easter stuff was 40 or 50. So I picked up these little carrots for finishing. I picked up these gorgeous eggs for finishing. They're little stickers. Love that. See, that's my style. I picked up this ribbon, which they also had 50% off on their ribbons and trims. So I thought that this would be really good to use to finish, to accessorize my Stronger Together. With the, love and cross stitches. I thought that was really good because, it all comes down to love, right? If we love each other, then everything will work out in this world. And then everybody's talking about dough bowls. I love them. I love seeing, people stitching stuff to put in them. Like I talked about Michelle McGraw, made by Michelle McGraw a couple of weeks ago, what she's doing with all of her smalls to fill up her dough bowls. Love them. Dough bowls aren't really my thing, though, as far as the aesthetic. So, since I said that, I'm realizing that, the shabby chic type is really my style. They had these. I've seen them before and loved them, drooled over them. They were in the spring shop, so they were 40% off. They had a smaller one and a slightly larger one than this one. And I figured this will be my dough bowl to put my smalls in. I think maybe I should have got the bigger size because I was looking around at some of the Easter stuff. I don't have any Easter smalls other than a little framed piece, but that's something that I really want to work on, is doing little smalls, the little pillow type finishes. But I thought, they also had like some little ceramic little pieces. Like they had one that was like the 3 crosses with the robe around one, or the stole around one, that said "He is risen." I thought that would just be really cute to put, put amongst the little finishes. So I may need the bigger one. May need all 3. But anyway, I picked that up. That's all my haul. So plans. So this coming week, I'm going to continue the March Mayhem. The next thing I'll stitch on in that is Bloomtopia, which will not be a quick finish. I still have the whole border to go around. And I'll work on the magazine monthly pieces, which basically the ones that I showed a while ago, I'm stitching. They're taking the place of my weekly rotation this month. So every Monday I stitch on certain one, Tuesday, certain one. So all throughout this month, you'll keep seeing those and seeing the progress, hopefully more than what I made this past week. I'm going to continue working on the Stitching Book Club release and the Prim and Proper to stay caught up with that sale. And then Fat Quarter Shop also will start on this coming week the Shine On sampler, which is from the Bonnie and Camille quilt book. And it's based on that quilt that's on the cover. Let me get to the cross stitch page. Well, okay, here we go. So this is the cross stitch. This one is over a longer period of time, so they're very manageable releases or goals that they have it broken up into. Like the first release, or not release, but the first scheduled piece is the X's right here. So they will be easy to keep up with. So that starts on the 10th. I'm going to stitch it on 28 count even weave Lugana, not Lugana, Monaco. And I'm using almost all the call for Cosmo flosses. They didn't have the kit or the floss pack when I ordered, and so I substituted. They had all the single ones except for like one of the teals, so I substituted something out for it. So I'll be starting on that this week. And what's today? 7th. So next Sunday, the Serendipity will start. I'll also be starting something different that I will be starting for Magazine Monthly Challenge is the squirrel ornament. That one. So I have that all kitted up and ready to go. That's it. Except for my giveaway from a few videos ago. So I never heard from the second person. So I did go ahead and draw another name this morning. And it was for this bag along with a quilting journal and an embroidery kit, as well as some flosses. So the new winner is Sally Fowler. And she said, I could use a bag for my many projects, and I love your pink fabrics. I enjoy your videos, and thank you for making them. So Sally, congratulations, and you'll find my email address below. Please email me and let me know what your mailing address is, and I'll get that in the mail to you. That's it. I don't have any shout outs because I'm so behind on FlossTube. So behind. I watched part of Joy-Filled Stitcher. I watched part of someone that I watched before that I noticed she had her first video in like 9 months uploaded. Her name is Heather, and it's The Blessed Stitcher. I'll link her below. I didn't watch all of it, but she basically had a bucket of finished objects, not fully finished, that she's done over the last 9 months, and it was like 40 something. So I'm going to go back and catch up on her. Melly Ellie Stitches uploaded it probably 5 days ago, I think. I haven't watched her yet. Brenda and the Cereal Starter are going to release one today, so I'm going to be really behind. And tomorrow I'm planning to go to Michael's and pick up 2 organizers. I have one of them already that holds various quilting projects. And I'm organizing, getting stuff rearranged and stuff. A while back I took the little cart that held my makeup and stuff, and I put it to be my finishing cart. And now I'm wanting to go through my makeup and, cleaning up in my room and stuff. So I'm wanting to go through my makeup and clean that, area up and get it organized. So I also have a little rinky-dink little plastic drawer dresser type thing that holds my fabrics for cross stitch. And then I have a little cubby hole box that holds all of my patterns and kits. So I need something different for that. So I'm planning to go to Michael's and pick up 2 of these. Let me see if I can find it real quick. They're on special right now, and it's way cheaper than what I paid for the one that I got at Joann's a while back with a coupon. They have a great buy going on them right now. Let's see. Come on. Of course, when you want it to load fast, it won't. If I can get it to pull up fast this way. I'm listening to my grandson talk out there. His voice is so deep. Come on. Okay, here we go. So they have these carts. So I have one like this already. So what I'm planning to do is reclaim my makeup cart, because it's like a decorative cart that I got from Kirkland's. So I would prefer that to be, next to my vanity. And then I'm going to move this one that I have into my finishing area and put all of my finishing supplies, so I'll have a lot of room in there. I'll have room left over, room to grow with things. And then I don't know if I'll get one of these for my fabrics and kits, patterns, or if I'll get another one of these. But I am going to do 2 white ones, one to replace the current stuff that I have in this one, which is quilting stuff, and then one for my cross-stitch fabrics and quilts. And those will go in my craft room. So I am planning to go do that tomorrow, because I feel the need to get really organized, get on top of everything. So that's my plans. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day, a good stitchy week ahead, and I hope you stay safe and stay well. And this time I'll try not to hit the stop too soon before I tell you that I love you. Love you guys so much, and thanks for coming, and I'll see you next week. Bye.